Hey everyone, Michael O'Brien here with more advice for magicians. This week I wanted to talk about discovering your own character and being original, so not copying another performance that you might have seen. I think a lot of us as younger magicians, I know I certainly did, fall into this trap where you feel like a lot of people really like and admire that performance, so I need to do my performance just like that one so that people will like and admire mine. But what ends up happening is people don't actually react to your performance as well because they can see that you're not being you, that you're being this fake character that is copying someone else. A perfect example of this is when I used to work at the Jungle Cruise back in the day. I used to watch a lot of different comedians, and I would try to do my Jungle Cruise humor, like those certain comedians would do. So maybe I would do like voices like a Jim Gaffigan, like kind of voice, during my act. And to me, I thought that was hilarious because I love Jim Gaffigan. But my audience was like, what's this guy's deal? Like, what's he doing, right? They didn't quite connect the two things because I wasn't being myself. Now, to bring that more into like the magic world, when I first started doing magic, I kind of started doing the same thing. I would look up to certain magicians and I would try to not just emulate them, but I would kind of try to be them. I would be doing a coin matrix and I would start discovering that I would be saying things like how Shutagawa would say them, or like even speaking with like an accent, crazy things like that, or like speaking like David Stone when I'm doing a David Stone routine. It's in the bottle. Like, I wouldn't say it's in the bottle, but David Stone would say that, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. Why am I saying things the way that David Stone says them? Well, the answer is, of course, because I idolize that guy and I want to be more like him, right? So what I would like to do for you guys today is actually read a small excerpt from my book here, How to Magish, The Beginner's Guide to Becoming a Professional Magician. Now, if you don't already own this book, or you've never seen it or never heard of it, this is the Beginner's Guide to Becoming a Professional Working Magician. The first section in here is all about, creating your character and working on performance and improving your magic. I want to take a small excerpt from here that speaks about the thing that we're talking about here, which is discovering who you are and doing your best to be your own character, right? So let me go ahead and just read a small section from the book here. Assume that we are working on a new effect or a routine. Before we even start worrying about the technique, we need to discover who we are first. What do I mean by discover yourself? Think about this. What makes some of your favorite magicians so memorable? What things do you admire about them? What do you notice about their styles? Each magician has their own unique personality that resonates within us. Are they charming, bizarre, elegant, rough around the edges, bumbling, serious, funny, etc.? Discover what it is about yourself that makes you, you. What do you love? What are your passions? What are your fears? Think about the character you will be when you perform. That character will be an extension of yourself. So I'm going to pause right there real quick, and I'm going to touch on that just a little bit. So like I was saying before, you want to try to be yourself. Now, for me personally, when I'm performing, I like to draw a lot from my actual life, things that I'm really passionate about in real life when I perform. Like, so for example, I'll do a trick with Pokemon cards because I grew up with Pokemon and I'm very passionate about that. It was a major part of my childhood. I might also do some references to Star Wars in my act, like my Chewbacca shirt here. I might do some references to Doctor Who. Like, I use a sonic screwdriver when I'm performing in my act sometimes. So do things that, add things into your routine that you actually do like in real life outside of magic. I also really talk a lot about my wife and my daughter in my routine because, again, they're major parts of my life. Like in my ring magic routine, a whole section of that effect is kind of almost a tribute to Veronica, my wife, where I'm using my wedding band. Excuse me, sorry, getting over a little cold there. So let's go ahead and read on. For example, I bring along several elements of who I am to my act. My character is very fun, likable, and passionate. If you don't know anything about me, but watch my act, you'll discover right away that I love my wife and my daughter, have a passion for my childhood, and have a very easygoing and fun personality. These things will stand out to your audience, and they will be more than likely to remember how they felt during your act, rather than the tricks that you performed. It's very important. The worst thing you can do is try to copy or mimic someone you look up to. So I'm going to say that one more time. The audience is going to walk away remembering more how they felt during your act and not necessarily about the tricks that you performed. When you're performing, you want to evoke some kind of emotional response, whether it be to creep them out, make them laugh, make them cry. I mean, I've seen some magicians that have brought their audience literally to tears with how strong the magic was. Later, the audience is going to talk about, dude, like, that was freaking crazy. Like, I don't even know how to feel right now, you know, like I have all these emotions going inside me. Yeah, they might remember like the tricks, like, oh yeah, he did a card trick and this and that. But they're really going to remember how they felt during their act. And then the second thing is they're going to be able to connect with you if you're being yourself. If you're trying to be someone else, like if I go on stage and try to perform a comedy Amazing Jonathan routine, it's going to fall flat because I'm not the Amazing Jonathan. I'm not really like that. I don't, you know, I just can't be the Amazing Jonathan. I'm Michael O'Brien, you know? So do your best to be your own character. The last example that I'll use, and this is one that I think is really interesting. For those of you who know who Rob Zabrecki is, he has created this really cool character where he's very creepy, but it's funny, right? Like, it's hilarious to watch. And if I was to try to perform a Rob Zabrecki routine and perform it the way he does, it would not get the same reaction because I'm not like that. That's not my character, you know? So the too long didn't read version, I guess, of this whole thing is do your best. I'm going to give you 3 things to work on. Discover who you are, the things that you're passionate about, the things that you like, the things in your life that are outside of magic that you can bring into your magic performance. That's number 1. Number 2, practice performing for other people, because you may notice that some things that you thought would work don't. And then things that maybe you didn't think about trying, give them a try. And then you might notice, well, those things actually do work, right? Maybe certain jokes don't work, take those jokes out of your act. Try new things, right? Add things from your own life that you really feel that your audience would care about. And then the third thing, avoid trying to be someone that you're not. If you absolutely love David Stone and you want to perform David Stone's tricks, that's awesome. Perform David Stone's tricks. Of course, if you have permission to do so. But don't perform them the way that David Stone performs them. Perform them the way that you would perform them. I would perform a David Stone trick the way Michael O'Brien would do it, not the way that David Stone would do it. For example, when I produce a bottle now, I actually produce a bottle out of my hat, and then I crack it open with the bottle opener, I pour myself a beer, and I make a toast, right? And I do it in a way that works for me. I don't do a David Stone bottle production with the handkerchief and, you know, using the same pattern and the same lines that he did. I used to, back when I first started. But like I said, and a lot of these things are things that you kind of do learn over time. So if you guys liked this, thank you so much. I hope you did. If you want to pick up a copy of the book, you can get it at O'Brien Magic Shop. It's O'BrienMagic.com/magic-shop. I'll leave a link right here. If you don't want to spend any money because you're broke, guess what? You can get part 1 of this book for free. All you have to do is sign up for my newsletter. I'll leave a link right here in the description below for how to do that, so you can access to this for free. Now, if you want to support me, but you don't have a lot of money, you can get access to this for just $1 by becoming a Patreon patron. Now, in addition to this, you're gonna get access to a ton of stuff. I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know why more of you guys haven't subscribed to my Patreon account, because I'm literally giving like a lot of stuff away pretty much for $1 per month. If you guys can spare $1 per month, I would really appreciate it, because it's gonna help me to be able to continue putting out more of these videos. I try to put as much of this stuff online for you guys for free as I can. So you're gonna get access to the audio book of part 1 of this book. Like I said, it's just gonna talk all about, you know, things like what we just talked about in this video, improving yourself and your performance. And you're gonna get that for just $1 a month. Or if you don't mind sending me sending you emails every week, you can sign up for my newsletter and you get access to that as well. Anyways, my name is Michael O'Brien. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time with more advice from magicians. Take care.